One by one, we'll see the university question paper. University question paper, if you have any doubt, you can ask me, or else you can um, comment your questions in the chat box. I'm ready to answer your questions also. So let's go. We can see the uh, syllabus. Okay. So I hope now the screen is shared, right? Okay. So we'll see the Anna University syllabus. So we have come to the last portion of your fourth semester, last segment of your fourth semester. So in this class doubt clearing session, let's see what and all subjects, what and all units we have covered so far in your fourth semester. Concrete technology is one of the very important topic for your civil engineering background. So in the stream you have chosen, that doesn't matter, but concrete technology is very, very important, because without concrete, we will not have any concrete structures or concrete buildings, dams, etc. etc. So subject is very much important, and you have also learned about concrete technology, the depth of the concrete technology, which is nothing but these 5 units. So let's move on with the first unit. First, we have seen the constituent material. The class was very interesting. Everybody were attentive and everybody were active. Uh, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி say I want everybody to join the session. Usually Hussein and all will be sleeping at this time. Or call பண்ணாதான் he will be returning back. If you can help me with calling Hussein, Vijay Kumar, Karthik, I'll be very happy. I think Karthik has came. So Hussein also joined, right? Hussein also joined. Then Shiva. Okay. Okay then. So Ella Laina, they will be joining. We'll move on with this syllabus. So in this particular 1 hour, it is more than enough. Even we'll continue for the semester exam, before the day of semester exam. Say example, tomorrow is your concrete technology. If you want to conduct this particular doubt clearing session in that time, I am ready to conduct this session. So first unit, constituent material. To make a concrete, what and all constituent material is needed? Everyone knows that. Even diploma holders background, you people have known that cement, sand and aggregate is very much needed, as well as water is very much needed to make a concrete. So we have seen what is cement, different types of cement, chemical composition and properties of cement, and what is hydration of cement. So this is the basic thing which we have seen in the cement category. And finally, we move on with the test on cement. So this is one of the very important 60-mark question. I already told you many times in your class that when you take the first unit, when you go on to the Anna University question paper, this particular part, the 11th question, probably they will ask laboratory test of cement or laboratory test of aggregate. So any one of the thing you have to be very confident. I usually tell, as a class teacher, I usually tell you that if you're not interested in a particular subject, you can, you no other way that you have to pass that subject. So for that, what you have to do, you have to learn at least the first half, or you have to learn at least the second half. So this is the secret. If you don't like applied hydraulics, you feel very rough, you study at least the first half. From the university question pattern, you learn only the A part of the question paper of 5 years. So it will be very useful for you to clear that subject. So, so if you, even if you don't like that subject, you can able to clear it and move forward for your next semester. So you can see here, based upon the syllabus, the first half syllabus, we have seen entirely about the cement, hydration, cement properties, and the test conducted in cement. So this is what they have given in the 2019 April-May question paper, which is exactly the last year's April-May question paper. where they have asked about the 3 laboratory tests conducted on cement as per IS code. So we'll move on with the PPT also. We'll see. First, we'll complete the syllabus segment so that we'll finish. The time is 3:10. We'll finish before 4 o'clock. So these are the things which we have seen in the first half. Second is very important thing is aggregate is very important for a concrete. So aggregate, we have fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. Aggregate can be classified into natural aggregate as well as artificial aggregates. So etc. etc. And we know the mechanical properties, which is nothing but the test conducted for the aggregate as per BIA standard, like abrasion test, uh, many tests which you have studied. So any one of the things you should be very thorough with the syllabus. So that is what you will be learning in the first unit. It's very easy subject, concrete technology, very interesting subject, as well as very important subject for civil engineering. Next, we'll finish with the water. The quality of water is also very important for mixing the precipitation of all these constituent material. That's what it is mentioned as constituent materials. So this is very important topic. Either you will have questions like test for cement or manufacture of cement or composition and properties of cement in the 11th A question side. And 11B question will be having aggregates, properties of aggregate, test conducted in aggregate, or else water or quality of water. This is what you will get in the university question. Then in the second unit, you will have a chemical and mineral admixture. To make a concrete, we must have this constituent material. In order to that, this is a classical method. For modern method, we can have chemical and mineral admixtures. So that you might have heard about quick setting cement, rapid hardening cement, and slow setting cement and all. Based upon the properties of concrete, we'll have this chemical and mineral admixture. Okay, so what are the chemical and mineral admixtures? Example, when we see this particular admixture, chemical admixture, super plasticizer or plasticizer, you people have given seminar. So Hari Prasad has given the seminar topic, and you can also see I have saved that your presentation which you have taken in the class. So these are the presentations which you have taken in the class. Similarly, this is like, okay, this is just a notification and motivation for you to learn this subject. So these are the chemical admixtures. Admixtures are basically classified into two types, chemical and mineral admixtures. When you go in depth of admixture, what is the purpose of admixture? Either it will accelerate or it will retain. So the accelerate thing is process is called accelerator chemicals, and retaining thing is called slowing down the process of setting is called retarders. So accelerators are plasticizers and super plasticizers, even waterproofers. These are called chemical admixtures. When we take the mineral admixtures, we very well know about the fly ash, silica fume, and GGBS, which is nothing but ground granulated blast furnace slag, as well as metacoline, Kirtik Balaji's topic, which is a mineral admixtures. So these are the two segments which they will ask in the Anna University question paper as 12A, and these they will ask in the 12B portion. So it's very easy and very simple for you to learn, and we'll see the detailed thing in the PPTs or the notes. So these are called accelerators, retarders, plasticizers, super plasticizers, and waterproofers. And mineral admixtures are fly ash, silica fume, ground granulated blast furnace, and metacoulin. So these are the natural elements. And then we learn what are the effects of concrete properties. When we add this admixture, what will happen? Definitely some advantage and disadvantage is there. That is why they have given this last topic as effect on concrete properties. So next we move on with the third unit, which is proportioning of concrete mix. Before moving to this third unit, I want to show you the portion syllabus of this particular second unit. in the Anna University question paper, so you'll get some confidence also. So example, they have asked a question like brief about the function and requirement of waterproofing admixture. What I have said same similarly, you can see this part they have asked in the 12A question, and this part they will be asking in the 12B question. You can see in the question paper. So discuss about the performance of GGBS, ground granulated blast furnace. So very easy subject, and similarly, like in this manner, every subject faculty has to teach. This is my recommended thing for subject faculties also, so that you can able to easily concentrate on the subject and easily clear the subject. So when I talked take this class in the third unit, proportioning of concrete mix, I've told you that this is the entire this portion is entire available in the IS code, which is nothing but IS 10262. They will ask either the problem or the procedures available for the problem. For example, we'll move on with the question paper. You can see explain the design procedure of BIS method of concrete mix design. Or in the section B, they will be asking describe about the requirement for concrete mix design. So both the thing they are asking about concrete mix design. And if you see the part C question, they have asked about the problem which we have solved 2 or 3 problems in the class comparing the IS code book. This is the problem they have asked. So we don't want to fear about this very big question, because this is supported by a simple code book called IS 10262. And since it's a very big question, it's very easy that they've already given these values in the question paper itself. So if you have any doubt, my dear students, if you have any doubt, you can unmute and you can talk to me at any time in between the session also, or else you can put a chat message here in the chat box. So these are the syllabus. So in the third unit, we have seen in the principles of mixed proportioning. And this particular unit was presented by Shane Abraham as well as Sri Ganeshan in their class hours. So there are two mix designs, design mix and nominal mix. This was taken by Sri Ganeshan, I think so, Sri Ganeshan or Shane, I think, in the classes. So whatever it is, they have talked about the mixed design, physical properties of material required for mixed design, design mix, nominal mix method, or BIS method of mixed design. Basically, we'll get questions like BIS method of mixed design, because these are the classical methods. Okay, so we definitely some problem may come for your university paper. So what we have learned from this proportioning of concrete mix, we know about the constituent materials, we have learned about the chemical and mineral admixtures. Now we should know what should be the mixed proportion for making the cement, sand, and aggregate with the water. So that is why I can show you that I have not made a PPT. Instead, I already told you in the class that in this IS 10262, this is like you are gifted that this code book is also permitted for your university paper, where the entire problem has been solved in the back of your IS 10262 code. You can see this is just a brush up. You can see the example in the page 9 of 21. In Annexure A, illustrative example on concrete mixed proportioning. They have given whatever they have given the question paper part C question. You can see there are two, three methods available for your mixed design, but we have two problems in Annexure A and Annexure B, having different data requirements. So they have given the solution for the question. So first we have to check the target mean strength. They have given the formula, and they have also solved what is known as FCK plus. Okay, we'll continue in the detailed thing in the next slide. I'll show you. So before that, I want to finish the syllabus part. So this is why this third unit is available in the 10262 IS code, and this is up to the mixed design. Next portion is Unit 4 is fresh and hardened properties of concrete. In this segment, we have seen about the workability, test of workability, segregation. You might have heard about that slum test, slum cone test, which we have discussed in the class. And determination of strength properties of hardened concrete, compressive strength, and flexural strength, split tensile strength, where Bhuvneshwari also has taken this topic in the class hours, in the seminar class. And stress strain curve, which was taken by Devaraj in the class. Then modulus of elasticity, durability of concrete, water absorption, permeability, corrosion test, acid test. So step by step they have given the syllabus. First material, then admixture, then mix proportion, and then they have given the fresh and hardened properties of concrete. In the sense, what are the physical properties to test a concrete for durability and strength. That is why this unit is available in your concrete technology. And lastly, they have given a special concrete, a subject called special concrete, where we have seen in the class, I have shown you the exact lightweight concrete. Even you might have remembered that Suresh also was taking that uh, concrete cube and shown in the class. So it is the void permeability has been covered with thermocol sponges in the lightweight concrete. And foam concrete also is one of the lightweight concrete. We'll see in the PPT detailing. So time is 3:20. Before that, we'll cover everything. So next is self-compacting concrete, vacuum concrete. So these are the special type of concrete apart from these type of concrete. In the sense, the special concretes are the mixture of all those things. So vacuum concrete, high strength concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, ferro cement, ready mix concrete, SIFCon, which is I think Shiva has taken this topic in the seminar class. Shotcrete, polymer concrete, high performance concrete, geopolymer concrete. So these are the syllabus which is available in concrete technology. Now this part is over. Now when we come to the question paper, as I told, say either they will ask the procedure of BIS method, which is nothing but the procedure of this IS code 104262, third unit mixed proportion problem, or else they will ask the entire problem as a question. This is the third unit. And the fourth unit, as I told, this is the entirely theory part where they have asked about the fresh concrete, which is the uh, first half of the segment. And then they have asked about the properties of hardened concrete, and they have asked about any two tests to be conducted on it. So these are the very theory part. As I told earlier, you should divide. If you're not interested, you have to divide the portion like first half or the second half so that you will know how to write or clear the subject. So fifth unit, they have asked about self-compacting concrete or shotcrete, and otherwise they have asked about lightweight concrete or high-strength concrete. So this is what they have asked. So lightweight concrete, self-compacting concrete, or else fiber reinforced concrete, ferro cement, ready mix, or SIPCon. So that's all for your syllabus. And in the part C, they have asked two questions. One is from the third unit problem, or else you have to answer the placing and curing of concrete. This is the general question they have asked. This comes under fifth unit, I think so. The fifth or fourth unit will come. Placing and curing of concrete. Okay, now we move on with the PPT for the first unit, which I have taken in the class hours itself. I'll just go through. Totally, we have 31 slides. We'll just since you have already learned this subject as well as you have written the subject, so you will be very confident enough to answer. You can able to understand. This is not new for you. So first, as I said, these are the units which which we have seen in the concrete technology. And the first unit we have seen these are the syllabus. What is the cement? What are its type? What are the chemical composition and properties of cement? And what is known as the hydration of cement? Evaporating in the sense water reaction with the cement. Test conductivity in cement. And what are the IS specifications for cement? So and aggregates. Similarly, we'll move on with the PPT. So cement, you know the definition of cement. It is a binder agent which is used to bind with sand as well as aggregate. It is a binding agent, a good binding agent. The density of cement is 1.44 gram per centimeter cube. So these are the types of cement. Ordinary Portland cement, rapid hardening cement, because these types you should know and you should read 2-3 times so that it will memorize. Because when we ask, if you want to construct a house within 30 days, you should know that there is a cement called quick setting cement. Okay, so this is very important. this is very important for you to learn this particular IS specified cement properties. So these are the types of cement. Ordinary Portland cement, there are three types of ordinary Portland cement under 33 grade, 43 grade and 53 grade, which comes under these specifications. Students, you can also learn this IS specifications. You can by heart it, or you can visit this, say you can type this IS specification in Google, so that you know what are the precipitation or manufacturing composition available for Indian standards. And rapid hardening cement, extra rapid hardening cement, sulfate resisting cement, Portland slag cement. Now, when we come with the sulfate resisting cement, you know what is the use of sulfate. Today morning also we have seen in the wastewater engineering laboratory taken by Ms. Rekha ma'am, why they have given determination of sulfate test. Have you noticed that? Why it is mandatory for a civil engineer to learn that particular test? Because I've already told in the class hours that water may consist any type of compounds, or cement may consist any type of compound. If you have more sulfate content, definitely it will also create some problem. If you have more chloride content, definitely it will create some problem with the reinforcement. It will react with the reinforcement and it will make the reinforcement to rust fast, and the strength of building will be reduced because of that corrosion problem. So there is sulfate resisting cement also. This may come for dam construction or bridges construction. So next is Portland slag cement. Then quick setting cement. As the name indicates, it's a quick setting cement. Super sulfated cement, low heat cement, Portland Pozzolano cement. So these are the cement which is used for various purpose of construction. That is what is given in the types of cement. Okay, so next we'll move on with the next topic, composition of cement. As I told in the class several times that lime is the major component, calcium oxide is the major component, about 60 to 65% is available in a cement. Without lime, there is no binding agent in the cement itself. So after lime, silica will play a major role in cement composition, 20 to 25%. These are the things the basic civil engineer should know, so that they have given in the second year syllabus itself. So a composition of cement may consist of lime calcium oxide, or silica, aluminum oxide, iron oxide, magnesium oxide, or gypsum. Okay. And then you might have heard about that C2S, tricalcium silicate, dicalcium silicate, like these kind of silicates, how they form. Because cement manufacturing process, which we see in the forthcoming slides, where there is a clean chamber, it will heat under 1450 degrees centigrade, because raw lime cannot able to bind in a good proportion. So when we heat in a rotary kiln with lime, silica, oxide, and magnesia, which you have seen in the composition of cement, these kind of tricalcium silicate may form, as well as dicalcium silicate may form, in which it is very good bonding agent for a cement. Based on this, grade has been fixed. Okay. So the cement composition, calcium tricarbonate, disilicate, silicon dioxide, aluminum oxide, ferrous oxide, and silicon dioxide has been added in the rotary kiln under 1450 degrees centigrade, has been burned, and it will effluent as tricalcium silicate, dicalcium silicate. This one is aluminum, calcium aluminate, and this is tetracalcium aluminate plus ferrate. So this is the effluent of finished cement. A cement may have, if you take a small particle of cement, okay, if you take a small particle of cement, where you might have heard about, I don't know, a professor called Manu Santana. I think today also he is going to give a presentation in NPTEL portal. I want everybody to participate in that NPTEL video, NPTEL lecture series today evening, 6 o'clock. I'll show you that, so that you might have, you will be introduced to two particular persons, who is called as Professor Manu Santanam and Professor Ravindra Getty. They are belonging to civil engineering department, and they are very senior professors. You can see this poster. So he is Professor Manu Santanam, and he is Mr. Professor Ravindra Gettu, who is a very popular and famous professors all over the world, we can say. Professor Ravindra Gettu also visited KCG campus for one particular Teachers' Day. Last previous year, he came to KCG College. So today he is going to these two people, very good senior people, civil engineering people. They are going to give a lecture on what is the meaning of civil engineering. What is civil engineering? So I hope this will be very useful session today, June 4 at 6 p.m. I will also share you the link for joining in your group later, so that you can visit those people. So why I'm showing this is Professor Manu Santanam is an expert. Definitely these two people are expert in any one of the civil engineering stream, either in the construction management or in the material side or in the structural engineering background, etc. etc. So Professor Manu Santanam is a very good expert in concrete technology and construction materials, and especially the cement materials. He used to he has a project thing, in the sense he has a good research paper in cement particles. His topic is like examining an experimental research on cement particles. So that's what we are seeing in this particular slide. So his research is examining each and every components and tuning something in the particular particle so that it will be very good in bonding. So his research, his area of research in that particular aspect. And Ravindra Gettu, professor, he is a good expert in construction management. So I'll share you this link as soon as when the thing is over. I'll share you this link so that today evening at 6 p.m. You'll directly face the live chat of this particular event. So this is microscopic examination of cement particle, and we have seen all these slides in the classes. Exactly what I've told in the rotary kiln process. These are the chemical reaction happens. So 3CaO.SiO2, tricalcium silicate, is mentioned as C3S. So I've already told you in the class. I've also given an example in the class. When if a concrete is setting very fast, if it is a quick setting cement, a quick setting concrete, definitely it is a very weak agent. I have also given an example like broiler chicken and village chicken. When a broiler chicken has the capability to grow itself within 30 days, village chicken will grow only in the stage of 3 months or 4 months or up to 6 months. Because if you compare both the chicken, which will give more strength, we can say village chicken will give more strength because it is a slow process of growing and it is very strong. So similarly, broiler chicken are very weak. So same example here we can say dicalcium silicate are very slow and very fast setting but slow in strength. But tricalcium silicate is slow setting and very hard in strength. So that is why the difference mentioned in the quick setting, the difference of which they have given in the IS code. When you go through this code book, you may have come across this particular composition. So I think the time is 3:32. So this is the cement manufacturing. Cement manufacturing, say similarly, this is the limestone mountain or rock. They are cutting this, they are transferring to the truck. Truck is going to the cement manufacturing area. It is poured, it crushed again, it is sent to secondary crusher and then proportioning equipment, then grinding mill, and again it is going to heat, preheater tower, and then this is the area where rotary kiln is. It is heating at the temperature of 1450. So this particular points and all, they will ask in the GATE exam, or if you go for engineering service exam, which is called as IES exam, conducted by UPSC, definitely these kind of questions they will ask. What is the temperature of rotary kiln? 1450 degrees centigrade. Then it will move on to the clinker cooler. So the cement is heated, it will be little bit wet. So it is going to cooler, and then again this proportioning equipment and finished grinding mill, and again to the cement storage area, shipping. So this is the cement manufacturing process which I have told in the class itself. So there are two properties of cement: physical properties and chemical properties. Physical properties are You can feel physically, you can touch physically, you can test physically. These are the physical properties. Chemical properties are that reactions. Tricalcium aluminate, tricalcium silicate, ferrite, the reaction of cement particles known as chemical properties. So your question to be answered in the Anna paper will be from maximum from this physical properties. What is known as hydration of cement? What is known as hydration? It's a chemical reaction take place between cement and water, which is referred as hydration process. So it is a reaction between a water and a cement. So it forms some heat that is known as hydration process. So this is a simplified scheme of hydrated cement paste microstructure. You can see these are the crystal compounds of calcium hydroxide. These are the some other properties, and you can see some voids also available in the particular area. So this is called a CSH gel, calcium, silica and hydrogen gel. So next is hydration process. As I told, they have given the chemical reaction uh, presentation where tricalcium silicate plus water reacts to give tricalcium silicate water plus some amount of calcium hydroxide which is flown in air. That's all. So this is called the hydration process. And what is called as heat of hydration? So for every reaction there is equal and opposite reaction, which means when the water is reacted with the cement, there happens some heat or burn. That is called as heat of hydration. This may be asked in the 2-mark question. But we have not seen the 2-mark session of this question paper. They have asked about any type, 4 types of cement, and see, you can see that they have asked about heat of hydration. So that's what I told that it's very important. They have asked in the last year question, heat of hydration. And then next process is testing of cement. We'll fastly rush up in the sense we know the test of cement. These are the physical properties. Field test is touching the cement, feeling the smoothness, that is known as field test. Then standard consistency test is VCAT apparatus. Everybody has written, you all have written class test in this particular cement test, and also you have gone through class test 1, 2 in this particular test. So everybody knows about standard consistency test conducted by VCAT apparatus. Then fineness test, it's very important. I think you have all this PPT in the Google Classroom, as well as I have shared all these PPT and notes in your WhatsApp group also. Kindly go through and save those notes so that it will be very useful for your future also. So next is soundness test, then strength test, you can say compressive strength and tensile strength test. Then aggregate, this is the second half of your first unit. There are different types of aggregate, but we'll classify into 2 types, fine aggregate and coarse aggregate. So if you classify aggregate into components, you can say according to geological origin, natural aggregate or artificial aggregate. Natural aggregate are, you can get it from rocks and mountains, but artificial aggregates are the effluent of a byproduct like GGBS or silica fumes. They are small pebbles. They are called artificial aggregate. And aggregates are classified into size, shape, and weight. So how will you measure the size? There are fine aggregate and the coarse aggregate measurement sieve method is there. Then shape, rounded aggregate, irregular aggregate, etc. etc. You can see the next slide also. Rocks used for manufacture of aggregate. There are 3 types of rocks which you have studied already in the 3rd semester in engineering geology: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. I've told many things about that in the classes. So from these rocks, they are classifying the aggregate into different groups. Properties of aggregate, which is nothing but the test of aggregate: particle size and gradation, hardness or resistance to wear, durability of resistance, specific gravity, etc. and aggregate properties. So mechanical properties are called as physical properties, which means you have to write the test for aggregates. Okay. So grading of aggregate, quality of water. This is the last segment of your first unit. So when you take this first unit, there are very 2 important questions. One is test for cement and another is test for aggregate. And last portion is quality of water. They may ask in the part C segment also, or in the 11th question B part. So water should be quality. It should have a pH level of 6 to 8. It does not taste saline or brackish. It should have salt should not exceed 500 ppm of chloride ion and more than 1000 ppm of SO3. Then alkali carbonates or bicarbonate should not exceed 1000 ppm. So these are the things which is very important for quality of water in order to mix the concrete. So this is the first unit. When you go to the second unit, I'll show the question bank. In the sense, it has discussed about the chemical and mineral admixtures. So this notes also I have shared in your WhatsApp group as well as in your Google Classroom. The example you can check here. So you can anytime you can go through this notes. So you have added in the stream part where you can see the last portion of this particular area. Okay, we can see here, we have added the PPT here as well as the question paper, previous year question paper and unit wise question bank, IS 10262 code book, mixed design video from IIT professor and some notes also. So here itself, the notes is available. You can see these notes, same notes is available there. I don't want to waste some time here. You can directly see the syllabus. You can understand what is majority available, and also you can compare with the university paper. So they have asked about accelerators, retarders. These are the two things which is very important for a chemical and mineral admixture. So accelerators are accelerates the setting time process. Retarders are slow down the setting time process. Example for accelerators are plasticizers and super plasticizers. Retarders are waterproofers. And there are many components, chemical components are available for retarders as well as accelerators. So mineral admixtures. Do you remember? I don't know whether you know that difference of fly ash, classification of fly ash. So fly ash are classified into two types. One is class C fly ash and class F fly ash. Here you can see. Okay, so when you see here, mineral admixture, fly ash is also one of the very good accelerator as well as retarder. You might have seen in the earlier research, if you search Google or some other portals, many people have done research in fly ash because fly ash was an byproduct of burning charcoal. This is an effluent of a charcoal where it is used for bonding agent. In the sense, we can reduce the material, cement material. Same way, we can also reduce the cost of the construction project, and we'll add this fly ash like 60%, 40 or 60% in the cement concrete in the concrete mixing process. So there are two types of fly ash. One is class F fly ash, in which there is only two difference. Class F fly ash has 5% of calcium oxide, but class C fly ash has 10% of calcium oxide. Since I've already told that cement has chemical composition calcium oxide 60 to 65%. So if from this particular classification we can assume that we can frankly assume that where calcium oxide is more 10 percentage calcium oxide is more, that kind of fly ash has good bonding agent. So when your cement is having 60 to 65 percentage of calcium oxide, which is lime, if you add some 40 percentage of cement, fly ash, class C cement into your process mix process, definitely it will add some 10 percentage also. In the sense, 60 or 60 percentage will become 70 or 70 percentage of good bonding capacity. This is called as class C fly ash. So class F fly ash are normally produced by burning anthracite or bituminous coal, usually has less than 5 percentage of calcium oxide. So this is the difference classification between class F and class C fly ash. Then similarly, silica fume is also one of the byproduct of burning one constituent material. GGBS is similarly, we can say it's like an aggregate, small pebbles. It's also a byproduct. So of a particular, in the sense, say steel manufacturing companies, they used to effluent silica fume as well as GGBS. Metakaolin is a natural admixture. Say it's one type of rock like the calcinated lime rocks. Similarly, kaolin is one type of rock. So these are the mineral admixtures. If you ask any question, you can able to answer it. If I ask waterproofing admixture, you can able to answer what are the functions of waterproofing admixture and what are the requirements of waterproofing admixture, so that you will get full 16, 13 mark as your marks. Then when they ask GGBS performance, you have to answer the GGBS performance. Then when we move on to the proportioning of concrete mix, when they ask this third unit, explain the design procedure of BIS method or concrete mix design, whatever it is, you just open this IS 10262, go to the first page, show your answer, whether it is a 2 mark or it is a 13 mark or it is a 16 mark, it starts from here and it ends till the annexure B at the end of this page. So when we see the 2 mark question, they have asked, these are the from the first unit, these two questions, say function of accelerated plasticizer from the second unit and fifth and sixth question from the third unit. They have asked about the define the terms standard deviation and coefficient of variation. If you don't know this definition, directly go to the IS code book, you check standard deviation and coefficient of variation. So what is standard deviation? See, you can see small explanation of standard deviation. So some idea you'll get from this. Standard deviation for each grade of concrete shall be calculated separately. Standard deviation based on test distance sample or something. You can see standard deviation to be brought up to the date. So they have given some idea or clue about standard deviation so that you can able to answer that particular definition, standard deviation. But don't forget to mention it formula. You know the standard deviation formula is FCK. So you have to mention that formula, FCK formula, there in the 2 mark standard deviation. Similarly, for coefficient of variation, you have to check where they have asked. So probably I think it comes under some 6th or 7th step. Actually 0.02 or 0.6 are called as a coefficients. So okay, you can answer those questions, and also you are supported by the Spectrum question bank book for all subjects. So kindly go through those subjects. These are the 2 marks which you can also refer. If you don't have any idea about your answers, you can directly go to your IS 10262 and you can refer those questions. Otherwise, if they ask in the 13 mark question, You can also directly visit what are the steps available for your answers. So these are all the steps. Either if they ask you the problem, you can answer all those problems. It starts from here. You can answer the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, or you can see the CR publication spectrum books. You can answer those steps. Otherwise, the steps is available here itself. Say from they have started from the standard deviation. So these are the data for mixed proportion. They have in the sense they have given the definition of standard deviation, the steps of standard deviation. Then they are moving with the selection of mixed proportion, selection of water cement ratio, then selection of water content, then calculation of cementitious material content, estimation of coarse aggregate proportion, fine aggregate proportion, sixth or seventh step, trial mixes, and then illustrative example. So same thing you have to write in the university exam. Okay, that's what this third unit is. If they ask this theoretical part, you have to explain in the theoretical aspect. So next we move on to the fourth unit. So when we look inside the syllabus, fresh and hardened properties of concrete. I can show you the PPT also. So here, fresh and hardened properties of concrete, they have asked two questions from the university question paper. Fresh concrete, other list out the test to be conducted on fresh concrete and explain any three. And then they have asked in the second segment, properties of hardened concrete, explain any two tests to be conducted. So this PPT also I've shared in your Google Classroom as well as in your WhatsApp group. So these are the syllabus. We have seen what is known as workability. Some work, the cement or the concrete is workable. In order to that, you can use at any time. In the sense, say example, morning 10 o'clock, you're making some concrete mix. You're taken some bond, you've mixed some concrete. Till say you're returning back at 12 o'clock. For 2 hours, it is not settled. That is known as workability. At any time, it can be the cement concrete can be used for construction purpose. So that is known as workable. Workability is an important property of concrete in its stage. Workability in simple terms defined as the ease with which concrete can be mixed, transported, placed and compacted at any time. So these are the things also we have seen in the class hours, the comparative table of workability. Then the workability is low because workability differs in various aspects. For road construction, workability should be different. So that also shown in the class. This slide I have shown in the class. If the workability is very low, in the sense can be assessed by slump test. The slump value is 0 to 25 and compaction factor is 0.78. Very dry mixes used for road making purpose. When the degree of workability is high, slump is 100 to 175 mm and compaction factor 0.95 mm. Then the particular thing can be used for consisted for reinforcement or sections. You can see can be used for foundations low. If the workability is medium, it can be used for some construction purpose, heavy or tall structure buildings. It can be used, etc., etc. So that's what the thing is mentioned here. There are different types of apparatus can be used for testing the workability. One is slump test as per IS 456, compaction factor test, then VB apparatus test. So these are the tests. Same slide I have shown in the class hours. So slump test apparatus, Kelly ball apparatus test, flow table apparatus, which you have already done this experiment in your third semester in construction material lab, compaction factor or VB apparatus, etc., etc. So these are the applications. So slump test are three types. Collapse, when you remove the slump, when you pour the concrete here and remove this particular thing, this kind of thing may occur. One, it will collapse, and the other side it will shear, other side it is true slump. When the slump is good, you can see when the slump is high or in the medium range, it can be used for very high structures or it is very good for building construction. So similarly, you can see maximum slump. For which purpose it can be used? For reinforced footing, maximum slump is 3 inch. So how the slump can be measured? You can see if you, when you remove the slump, you can measure with the help of a scale or a measuring tape. At what type, at what end it has been broken, or it has collapsed, or it has made some shear, etc., etc. So it shows that it has some different properties. If the water content is more, definitely it will collapse. If the water content is medium, it will make some shear. Or if you have made some mistake in the mix design, definitely some shear may happen. If your mix proportion and water content is good, definitely it is a true slump. Then compaction factor test. Copper, you'll pour concrete. I've already told the class. You can go through the slide. If you have any doubt, actually you can ask this in right now, or you can put it in a comment, or you can call me at any time. I'll answer this questions. So segregation bleeding. This topic was taught by Hussein in the class. What is known as segregation and what is known as bleeding. You can see this. This looks like, when you cover this part, it looks like a pool of river. But when you see here, it's nothing but there is the concrete mixture has more water content, where the hardened materials, the aggregate is settled down and water is floating up. This is called bleeding and this is called segregation. And this is the properties of hardened concrete. Properties in the sense, concrete can be checked with strength, the duration or permeability, shrinkage or creep deformation, response to temperature variation. Even now, when the temperature is more, when you touch your building wall, edges of the wall, which is directly exposed to UV rays or the outside temperature, your wall will be very heated. This causes crack in the wall or in the building. So how can you able to reduce this crack? Definitely you have to paint. So compressive strength, split tensile strength. So these are the different aspects. You can see one example. Say aspect in the sense testing of concrete or concrete cube in different postures. So this is called flexural tensile strength. So you put some load here and in the adjacent side here. You can see here only one load is applied directly to the middle portion. So these are called flexural tensile strength. Flexural in the sense, say flexible, we can say whether the concrete is flexible or not, whether it is flexural or not. This was taken by Bhuvneshwari during the class hours. So when the load is applied, you can see some crack. When the load is more, definitely crack may occur in this particular region. So what is the bearing capacity? Everything we will check in the flexural strength. So this is the example. You can see the middle part, it has been applied. Two adjacent side load supporting agent has been kept, and here two rods have been kept and load is applied beneath the rods. So the cube has been getting cracked and it is getting broken. I think this is a good type of concrete. This is how you can able to check the flexural strength of concrete. So when you go to higher studies like structural engineering, stress strain curve, this is the basic question they will ask for any type of interview. So how will you check stress and strain? You can say an example, which is causing stress and which is causing strain. This is causing strain and this is causing stress. So when there is more stress, there occurs more strain. So this difference can be, even nowadays people are using Internet of Things or computer to analyze these cracks so that it will generate a graph like this. So when more stress is applied, strain may also occur. If the concrete is good in strain, in the sense strength, definitely it will go up to the maximum level like 45 degree curve. So this is the stress strain curve. This topic was taken by Devraj, the class hours. So you can see modulus of elasticity. So already we have seen in the classes. So this is a water absorption. Whatever the wall may be, you can see whether if you are not putting any waterproofing paint, definitely water may absorb in any type of building construction applicants. This is how water will absorb because it has a lot of porous content. But when you take a lightweight concrete, it has very less amount of water absorbing capacity because it has thermocol sponges inside the porous area. So you can see yes, a lot of examples, factor affecting permeability, water cement ratio, properties of cement. So this PPT is more than enough for your go through. And nowadays, people are using this modern technical tool. This is called non-destructive testing machines. So that particular flexural strength experiment, this is called destructive testing. We are destroying this particular cube, and material loss is there, and also cost wise it cost more. But nowadays tools have been evolved, like this kind of tools. With the help of ultrasonic wave, they can able to identify where the crack is, or any problem in the building. They can able to identify with the, so for example, like stethoscope. When the particular wall is very weak, it is going to form very big crack. Definitely, we can able to predict with the help of ultrasonic waves. This is how the railway track have been founded. Whether the track has been cut in between, or due to some lot of heat. Railway track is a very huge track. Each gauge has been up to the 13 meter or 12 meter. So is there any cut or break in between due to some thermal conditions? They will check with the tuning fork or the ultrasonic wave, so that they can able to identify at which place the railway track has got cracked. So similarly, the sensor is having a major role in the concrete applicants. Finally, the acid resistance. So these and all I've taken in the class hours. And then they've asked, see, list out the test to be conducted in fresh concrete. So testing to be conducted, like we can say, flexural strength test, compressive strength test. They have given no workability test. These are the tests to be conducted in fresh concrete. So these kind of questions, when they ask, you can easily answer in your university exam. Similarly, I have not opened the fifth unit slide, but it is already there in your GC, Google Classroom, as well as in the WhatsApp group. It's a lightweight concrete. First slide will come like lightweight concrete. Say these are the things which I have shown in the class itself. Then this is a hollow block which saves lot amount of materials. Bricks and all has an entire cube surface, clay or red bricks material, but you can see some hollow, so that you can save some energy or material cost. Then classification of lightweight, which is talks about advantage and disadvantage, foam concrete, self-compaction concrete, vacuum concrete. So these things I have shared in your Google Classroom. Fiber reinforced concrete. These are the fibers. If you put fibers in the concrete, definitely it will give more compressive strength result. In ferrocement are very popular nowadays because it's like a thin slab, low cost building construction technique, where with the help of chicken mesh and some reinforcement agent, they can able to build a very big, huge construction things. But some area it is becoming flop because the soil area is very poor, and you can see the slab is very thin. So this is a ferrocement. This is called a ferrocement. And ready mix concrete, nowadays it's a very popular, very tall structure. Also, with the help of pipe and tubes, they'll use flush this ready mix concrete to the upper area. And then silicon is nothing but steel fiber reinforced concrete thing, slurry inflated fiber concrete, where fibers have been added in the concrete area. And this is called shotcreting, very important, very modernized construction technique, where you can see they are, with the help of tools or robotics, they are flushing this entire area to make some particular wall or something else. For tunnel construction and all, these kind of things very popular. And this is called polymer concrete. With the help of rubber or some plastic agent, they are making some septic tanks or channels or pipe laying equipments, etc., etc. And high performance concrete. So these are the concrete applicants. We can call it as special concrete. That's what your unit topic comes, like a special concrete. So these are the things which you have already taken in your class hours. And say they have also asked the questions like explain about self-compacting concrete. When they ask explain about self-compacting concrete, and they have mentioned the mark 6.5, you have to answer some, say definitely some 7, 8 or 10 points should be there for self-compacting concrete. If you mention some advantage and disadvantage of self-compacting concrete, then definitely it is more than enough, so that you will get full 13 mark for self-compacting concrete and shotcrete, which I have shown in the slide, lightweight concrete and high strength concrete. So all these things we have discussed in the 1 hour session. You can see the 2 marks also, stress strain curve. Say maximum whatever I've taught in your class and PPT and the notes, everything is available here. You can see polymer countries, stress strain curve, workability, controlling workability, nominal design makes, accelerator, plasticity, super plasticity, heat of hydration, any type of cement. So everything is we have covered in the 1 hour session. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Uh, Thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt? Hey.
இல்ல சார்.
ஓகேவா முடிஞ்சுச்சா?